We formed a Marshall Plan for Middle America to look at the Northern Appalachia, to see the Ohio Valley and to see the areas that have been left behind, areas in our own cities that are Black and brown communities that have no connection to Carnegie Mellon University or Youngstown State or Marshall, because there aren't ladders of opportunity in the systems to connect them to a growing new economy. And understanding that 30 miles down the road, there's a rural community and it's a white neighborhood and it's relied upon a mine or a factory for generations. And again, that lack of opportunity. So what if we work together creating a Marshall Plan that would invest and connect people to newer types of opportunity in the communities that they call home? And in the process, check a lot of the boxes of how that can help to sponsor and support entrepreneurship in green development and starting to change the energy policies of an area that has been built on coal, gas, and oil to one that can transfer to green, but doing it in a just way that puts people first. In Pittsburgh a year ago, our Gender Equity Commission set out to show how the opportunities, especially for young women, aren't the same as for young men in the city. But then what they decided to do with the University of Pittsburgh is overlap that with a study that looked at race. And what we found is that the opportunities for Black women in the city of Pittsburgh are some of the worst in America, that a young Black woman would have a better life if she were to leave. So now we have the baseline. And the question is, what do we do to change it? We can't simply rely upon what city government does, which is pick up the trash and fill potholes and do those other types of programs. We have got to be the leaders that bring others involved, academia, the corporate community, the philanthropic community, and put together not just programs or rely upon Washington, but fundamentally change the system, fundamentally give the opportunity where it lacked before. We can make sure that the opportunities for young women in our public schools start before kindergarten. And we can make sure that there's access to quality housing. And like you said, not just building concentration of poverty and then warehousing it in one neighborhood, but creating in those neighborhoods opportunity for subsidized housing, affordable housing, and market rate housing. And then building a community around that. The third places, the critical places where you live as a person, a church, a bar, a gym, a restaurant, all the things that other neighborhoods have, and make sure that every neighborhood has that. I don't think there's been a greater opportunity in my 56 years on earth in order to actually be able to make systemic change happen. I hear it in the protesters and the activists, even though many times I disagree with what they're saying. They're saying, we don't want to wait. And there's a willingness from those that have sat on the sidelines for decades to finally get up and to be a part of that change. But we've got to win their hearts and win their minds in order to be able to do so. And I believe that we can. And I do believe that we can make systemic changes which will even out the playing field so that every Pittsburgher has the same opportunity to succeed. I don't think that's being radical. I think that's being rational. And I hope that this dialogue will not only give us some ideas of the programs and policies that are out there, but what are the means of making it happen. I can tell you with what both of you said, I agree 100%. But if I were to run on that platform for re-election, I would lose.